Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Redeemed Carnivore. Today I am here with a special guest. It's Amy Holtz. She is with doTERRA Essential Oils. We're going to be doing up a little bit different today. I wanted her to talk about emotions and oils because, as y'all know, with addiction and that sort of thing, you deal with emotions as well, trauma and that sort of thing. So let's get started. Amy, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'll be honest, when you asked me, I was like, sure, I can talk about emotions and oils in the body and that all day long. And then you threw in the addiction aspect, and I was like, okay. So I thought, okay, this is something I need. Let me sit back. I've thought about it, and I've utilized that, but really trying to kind of hone in on that a little bit. So thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, and in fact, today is doTERRA's birthday.
Yay.
I know I want to
Trying to
say
think.
10 or 13 years.
It's not 10. I know it's not 10 because I just had a memory pop up that was happy 10th birthday to them. And that was several years ago. So I think it's either 13 or 14, I think.
Okay.
So
Because
yeah,
I've been in
yeah.
it for 5. And
Okay.
I know you've been in it for.
Well, it's been almost a decade. So almost 10 years. And when I realized that a couple months ago, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
When you say almost a decade, but really truly, and I often say, this is a journey, and it has been a journey for me. When I was introduced to doTERRA oils, that whole concept, I was completely new to me. I had never heard of essential oils, had no idea. And truly, it's just become a
Right.
journey of wellness, not just oils, but a journey of wellness, of healing, and realizing so much. I'm thankful for our oils so much because sometimes they do help often they help that immediate need. But then once you start to kind of learn, you realize that sometimes there's stuff that's deeper, and you got to kind of start
Right.
peeling back those layers, and
Right.
dealing with what's on the inside.
And that's what with addiction,
Hmm.
once you realize, hey, I've got a problem, hey, I need help with this,
Hmm.
then it's like an onion and you have to peel back those layers to get to the root of the problem. And you know I've used oils for 5 years now. There are times to where I've just used them for health, but I have used them for emotions. And what I find very interesting is when you go to your line of oils or wherever you keep them, you're just like, okay, what do I want today? To put in a diffuser or whatever. And you kind of go, okay. And I'll take this top off and I'll just smell, go, no. And then I'll pick up another and go, oh. And then I'll take another one and go, okay, well, let's take the two lids together and let's smell them. And I'm going, oh, I like that. So I'll put it in the
Hmm.
diffuser. But now
Absolutely.
there is actual reasoning behind that, right?
Sure, sure. Well, and it's so funny that you said that. I just had somebody message me the other day and trying to figure out what to utilize with a child that is a little um out of control, a little wild. And she
Right.
had some suggestions, and I was like, okay. And I actually suggested that she let the child smell the
Yes.
oils. And I said, and see what they're drawn to, because often, and what I've learned over the years is our bodies will tell us what it needs. We just have to listen. And so
Yes.
oftentimes when you're drawn to something, a smell, it's like, okay, there's a reason behind that. And you may know, oh, this is the property of this oil. This oil has this emotional property, but sometimes you don't. And the great thing is it works whether you know or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And let me do just a little bit, and I've learned from Team Holtz is the team that you're on with your sister-in-law, which Carol is my upline. So we're in the team together. For those of y'all that are like, well, okay. But I learned from y'all that with the oils, your body processes them like food. So it would be like, because, all right, let's take lemon, for example. All right. It's from the lemon peel. The oil is from the lemon peel. So you're actually ingesting food. So your body looks at it as food, but it also is medicinal as well.
I know,
And
it's so amazing to me. So
yeah,
amazing. And if you like go way back into actually modern medicine, like for instance, the number one ingredient in Pepto-Bismol is peppermint. It's synthetic peppermint.
I
It's
did not
not,
know that.
I know. Well, again, it's because they know that peppermint calms the stomach,
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
so many things have a base in that. They're just not the natural options, they're synthetic. And where the rub comes in that is the body doesn't always know what to do with synthetic. It knows what to do
Right.
with food, right? It
Right.
does. It processes, we use it, it gets rid of what we don't need. Well, with synthetics, they work most of the time, but the body, it takes longer. If you think about it, when you take some type of over the counter, whatever, it often takes way longer. And you're like, oh my word, it must not going to be work. Seems to take forever, especially like when your head's hurting and you're like, I really need this to work.
Right.
But with oils, because again, your body sees them as food. I mean, they are the ultimate plant-based bioavailable product, which
Right.
are hot topics today. When you listen to that, people are like, oh, plant-based, bioavailable. These are the ultimate. And so it's been an amazing thing for me just to see what these incredible tools can do.
And there's a lot less side effects with using the oils, and you can use them more often. That's
Absolutely.
another thing that y'all taught me as well, is that because I was only doing it maybe like, let's say, a protocol for allergies, which is what I'm dealing with now, y'all. So if I sound a little nasally, I apologize. But I was only taking it 1 or 2 times a day. And you're like, let's increase this, because if your body is processing it like food, then
Mhm.
it's processing it a little bit faster, because as you and I know, in order for some of these oils to get through the brain barrier is like that. I mean, it
Mhm.
takes 20, am I saying it, 20 seconds sometimes for some of
Yeah.
these oils to get through the
Mhm.
barrier.
Yeah. Well, and to get throughout the whole body, it's crazy to get through that. And so, and again, we say all the time, you're better to use less drops more often and just keep that in your system. And if you think about it, we don't just eat once a day most of the time. I mean, I
Right.
know we have crazy days.
Right.
We don't just drink water once a day or whatever, we do that constantly. So if we get into that habit and realize, and again, we're just giving our body the tools, because the ultimate goal with everything, if you think about it, even in our everyday life, is we're trying to balance, right? We're trying to bring our body into balance. When we're tired, we sleep, right? When we're thirsty, we drink. We shouldn't wait till we're thirsty to drink, but but we drink.
Right.
So it's that whole thing about, and that's the whole thing, is just trying to bring the body. The technical word is the homeostasis state, but
Right.
trying to do that. And so we do that, and we think about that physically, but we're also dealing with that emotionally, right? We're
Exactly.
dealing with trying to balance that
Right.
as well. So
And with homeostasis, if you have an addiction, and whatever you use in your addiction, whether it be alcohol, food,
mhm,
gambling, pornography, yada yada yada, whatever, your body is not in homeostasis. So it's trying to do this, and it's more like this. And with the oils helping your emotions, it kind of gets back into, now sometimes we say, well, the oils are great for everything. We there's not a use that, because you can clean with them, you can cook with them, you can do laundry you know we think that, okay, there are some people though that the oils are going to have an adverse effect. My granddaughter, for example, she has got some issues that lavender is going to work the opposite on her. So if
yep.
any oil has got lavender in it, don't get it near her, because
Mhm,
it's going to have the opposite effect.
yep.
And with
Yep.
emotions, sometimes I think we're dealing with that as well, because like I said earlier, you've got the onion that you have to peel back and you have to get to that. And sometimes the oil that you think you need and you use and you're going, well, this is not working. Have
Yeah.
you found that with people?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And when I was thinking about today and thinking through things, I was thinking back to in my own journey with trauma and hurt and then addiction. I was just kind of peeling back those layers, and I was like, things start with trauma, some type of
Yes.
trauma. And I
Yes.
had my counselor say one time, everybody has trauma. Some are just big T and some are little t traumas. And then even to the same person, the two different people, the same thing happens, but it was a big T trauma to me and a little T trauma to her. So we have all these, sometimes it's just one event that happens, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's reoccurring event. It's abuse. It's whatever that is.
Right.
And so being able to unpack that, and that unpacking is different for different people.
Right.
Some people, think about when you go on a trip, some people come home, empty the whole suitcase, dump it all on the bed, put it all away, deal with it. But not everybody's like that. Sometimes it sits there for a few days,
Right.
or you
Right.
take out what you need or whatever. And so I think it's the same thing. I always have talked about, we have to unpack. And I see a holistic naturopath doctor, and she said, I had something that happened about a month ago, and she said, you either going to have to sit in this and unpack it and deal with it and think it through and peel it apart. She said, or you're going to be dealing with this for weeks. And I was like, well, I don't want to be dealing with this for weeks.
Right.
So I did that. So having oils that help, the 3 oils that came to mind, one of the things that I read recently, it was a doctor that was talking, and they said that most, I want to say it right. Let me find it. But it was talking about the fact that most addictions are based in trauma. And they
Yes, absolutely.
suggested utilizing, so we have all different oils with doTERRA. We have all different systems. We have a protocol, I think it's called Symphony of the Cells, but there's a forgiveness protocol, an actual protocol. We have a forgive blend. That's what it's
Right.
called, forgive,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our emotions line. So for somebody, especially somebody who maybe is not familiar with oils, I might just suggest you try the forgive oil. And the key is you put it actually over your liver and over your heart.
Right.
And those of you that don't know, emotions are stored in parts of the body. So
Yes.
anger is actually stored in the liver.
Yes.
But if forgive doesn't resonate with you, I would highly encourage you to try. We also have a blend called Console and
Yes.
another one called Peace. And so I kind of think, and if you have access to those and you can smell them, actually you kind of sometimes know what you need by just smelling, and realizing, okay, that smells awful to me. There are certain oils that smell awful until I need them. And
Right.
then, I can't, I'm just like, can't get
Yeah.
enough of them.
Yeah.
So again, it's listening to your body and going, okay, what do I need right now? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I totally agree with that. Because like you said, that the trauma and all that can be stored in our body. So, and I talk about this too, that anger for me is my wall. If something triggers me, my first response is anger. Some people, their first response is maybe another emotion. But for me, it's anger. Well, anger is a protection for me because of past trauma in my childhood, to where I had to put that wall up. And so, that's why I've been doing a protocol with castor oil and the wool squares, and putting it actually on where my liver is, and a heating pad. And then I've got for adrenal issues, I put it where my adrenals, which is above the liver. So all of that right there is because of childhood trauma.
Sure.
And it's manifesting itself in my back, in my neck and shoulders, because I go around tense all the time. So
Yeah.
it's amazing to me how that you can take these oils because you can diffuse them, you can take them, you can put them on topically. And it depends on the oil, and it depends on if you can actually take it internally.
Sure.
But sometimes just smelling the oil just kind of, okay,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
do
I'm trying
this.
to get better at before I utilize an oil, whether in the diffuser, I put it in a veggie cap, whatever I'm doing with it, to just open the bottle and inhale because
Right.
they are so incredible. Well, I am years ago, my cousin had twins, and she right after she had the babies, she was really struggling with emotions, feelings, all of that. And literally, she didn't have many oils at the time, but she had lemon oil. And she literally carried that bottle of lemon oil. This is spearmint, but bottle of lemon oil. And she said she carried it in her pocket and she would just open and inhale. And she said, and that is what got her through those days. Just lemon. You know, we have all these other oils that we're like, oh, use cheer, or use these all together, or whatever. Just lemon. Our citrus oils are phenomenal for uplifting mood, just giving you that, okay, you know, you need to get something done. You're just kind of feeling, you know, it's raining outside and that's hard for you. Just open the bottle and inhale. It's amazing to me.
Right.
Amazing what they do.
And just for those, you can get just 3 oils. If you sign up, you can get just 3 oils, and it's peppermint, lemon, and lavender. There is over 100, because I actually wrote a list of all of these oils down of things that you could do with them. I came up with over 100 for each oil. That's not even combined.
Mhm.
So, to say, well, oils are expensive, or, whatever. My response to that is, number one, how much is your health worth?
Mhm.
You know, and how much is your emotional health worth?
Phew. Yeah.
Because I got to the point to where I looked at my family and said, I need help. I need to go talk to somebody, because otherwise I'm going to be in an institution.
Yeah.
So, it's
Yeah.
one or the other.
Absolutely. Well, and when you start learning too how much the body affects our emotions and our emotions affect our body, it's quite something. Just even we had an emotions in the body class several weeks ago, and you know the vitamin deficiencies, vitamin D, vitamin B deficiencies, low iron, how that affects the body. You know,
Right.
and that affects the emotions, you know, and so then
Yeah.
people are dealing with this and all the things. And so again, I go back to that triangle, you know, we're spirit, mind, body. You know, God created us that way. And we're trying to stay in balance, right? As much as we can.
Right.
But things get out of balance. Sometimes it's our choice and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's something that's has been done to us or around us, whatever. But so it gets out of balance. And so we just have to again start unpacking that, peeling back those layers, but absolutely talking. I think just talking with someone helps immensely. It really
It,
does. Once
it, it
you kind of
does.
get that out, it loses some of its, you know, we talk all the time, it loses some of its power. You know, when it's all in here or in here, you
Right.
know, it goes through the speaker sheet. And then finally, when you start talking, it's like, okay, somebody else hears it and acknowledges, man, that's hard. Man, that was heavy. That was hurtful. Absolutely. But helping you walk through that and unpack that for sure.
And I think also that with the oils, that they help you to be able to talk, to be
Mhm.
able to get it out, because sometimes it feels like that emotion or whatever, that trauma is stuck in your body and you can't get it out.
Mhm.
You can't get rid of it. And you don't want to go to someone and just like, bleh, which
Mhm.
sometimes that does happen, word
Sure.
vomit, and it just all comes out. But then there's times to where, you need some help getting it out or processing it enough to where you can get it out. And I think that that's where we could utilize the oils, because that helps to get in there and go, okay, peppermint, for example, is the buoyancy of the heart. It makes your heart lighter by smelling it. I've got the emotions book
Mhm.
um I didn't grab it. I meant to grab it, but yes, that's it.
This is one of the newer ones, but oh yeah, amazing, right?
It is because you can literally go through that book, even
Mhm.
if say you have an emotion. All right, my emotion is I'm disappointed. Okay,
Mhm.
you can go through there and go disappointment. Okay, this, and this oil. Or you can look at the oil and go, okay, this is the oil of
Sure,
whatever,
sure,
so it kind of works both ways. And it says,
absolutely.
okay, here's the negative part of it, here's the positive part of it,
Mhm.
which I think is
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I have two oils sitting here right now. One is Motivate, which is in our emotions blend. And this is one that I utilize if I need to focus and get stuff done. But when I pair it with spearmint, I do that when I'm going to speak. And
Right,
spearmint is the oil of confident speech. And
right.
so it helps kind of clear your mind and you to be able to say what you need to say. And so those are just two that I have just sitting right here, at the moment. So it's amazing, amazing.
It is. It really is. And uh, I got to brag on Doterra for a minute because I had instance, and Doterra is a lot of people consider it to be a multi-level company, which whatever. But I like I always say, well, it's been around long enough to where it should speak for itself. But the customer service that I had the other day
Mhm.
was absolutely phenomenal because it's a big diffuser, and y'all, this diffuser is like at least $70 my price. It's a real big one, and
Mhm.
it's also for like a air purifier, I guess if you want to call it. It's called the Dawn. Okay, for some reason I've cleaned it, did my usual. I clean them once a week. I've got like 7 or 10 around, so I take a day and that's what I do is clean my diffusers. So I put it back together. And the bad part about this is I put some oils in there for allergies. Well, I'm real low on one of them. So, I'm sparingly, until I can order. Okay, so all of a sudden, this thing starts leaking from the bottom onto my table, onto my floor, and I'm going, "Ugh." What I'm worried about? Man, I just lost them drops of oil. So, and this is a replacement because this has happened. And as far as what doTERRA has told me is because there's so many moving parts in this Dawn diffuser. It's a wonderful diffuser, y'all. I don't want y'all to think it's not, but things happen. And so I may have gotten two bad ones, who knows? But so I call the company and go, okay, well, they're probably not going to replace it because this is a replacement. Because it has a year warranty. And so Hunter, the guy, because I got his name, very nice, very nice. We had a pleasant conversation. I told him, I said, I was upset because I lost the oils, and I said, can y'all replace this? And I'm thinking he's going to say no. He said, well, do you remember whenever you bought it? And I said, no, I don't know the month or whatever. So he looked it up and he said, okay, we'll send you one. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking because I just lost $70 because this thing is leaking. No, it's gonna send me another one. And he said,
Wow.
I'll email you. You just print out the return label. And I said, well, I've still got the box. He said, oh, that's awesome. I said, yeah, I keep them. I keep them at least a year to make sure that I don't need them or anything. So he said, oh, that's awesome. He said, just send it back. He said, now, if you have any problems with the one that we send you, call us and let us know. And I was like, y'all, that's awesome.
Mhm. Right? Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
I love it. I love it. It's been such an incredible, like I said, it's been such an incredible journey from every aspect, from customer service, like you just said, to the quality of our oils, to watching to watching my own life change, and to watching those around us. There's nothing that I love more than sharing with someone and then getting that text or getting that phone call and being like, oh my word, it worked. Now, the caveat of that is sometimes it's a process. Like you and I could be dealing with the same thing. In fact, you're dealing with allergies. I'm dealing with allergies right now. And sometimes the same exact thing works for us, but sometimes it doesn't,
Right.
because our bodies are a little bit different. So the great thing is we have oils. We can journey through this and go, okay, this didn't work for you. Let's try this. Let's try this. If you're willing to,
Right.
to walk that, because so many incredible things. And even with emotions, and the body and dealing with all of that, we've got options. You
Right.
might not like the smell of console. Well, we'll find something else that just helps give you that feeling. Any tree oils, any fur oils, they're kind of just that. They hug. It feels like a
Right.
hug. When you
Right.
need that grounding, you feel like everything's spinning and scattered. It's amazing the tools we have. I love it.
Well, and there are plenty of pharmaceuticals out there that could be utilized to help with the trauma. You could go to your doctor and
Sure.
if you have just a regular primary care physician, a lot of them are not up on oils. A lot of them, say, oh, you don't need to take that or whatever. And they'll hand you a prescription that has this many side effects and ingredients, and you're going, because I just went to the doctor and he's like, oh, here, try this. It was a sample. I looked on it and I thought, this has got sugar in it. I'm not taking this for a problem that I was trying to resolve that's going to give me another problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, and it breaks my heart. It really does. And I sat in a class the other night with a lady who is on, if I recall correctly, she told us she takes 19 things before bed, various
Lord have
sundry
mercy.
things. And she even said, I'm concerned about, this is affecting this, and then this affects this, and all the things. And so again, I know there's a place, and sometimes modern medicine, especially, sometimes it's that we need that initial help, that initial break, that initial
absolutely.
whatever. So absolutely. But again, when we have options that we can try, things that we can utilize, and again, I just, it never ceases to amaze me. I never get tired of the text messages, the phone calls, Facebook messages. Oh my goodness, I slept for the first time and whatever. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm not in this spiral of emotions. We have a line called Adaptive that is just amazing for anxious feelings and all of that. And so
Right.
just, it's amazing to me.
Yeah. And, even with children, because we've got a children's line
Absolutely.
of, oils that can help Thinker and Brave, and which I love the names.
Me too.
Because kids can look at it and go,
Yep.
okay, Thinker, so I can think, or Brave because I can be brave.
I love it.
And
Well, and I think if we realize mental health, it's issues with mental health is starting younger and younger and younger.
especially
And
after the
so
last 2 years.
yes, absolutely. And I literally just had a friend share on Facebook, and they were going to school. She was taking her child. I'm pretty sure they were still in preschool, so young. And they had decided at their school that they didn't have to wear masks anymore. And the child went into a complete meltdown about not having a mask on, going into school without a mask, and they had to really work them through. And I just thought, and that has nothing to do with masks per se. That's not why I say that. But we have just a state of emotions right now in our country that need to be dealt with,
Right.
from our littles to our teenagers, to adults, that
Right.
everybody has struggled. And and I'm thankful that we have some tools.
Right. Well, and also speaking of mental health and young adults, the suicide rate in children now, and I'm not going to say young adults, I'm going to say children, because of the isolation that they were in for 2 years, and now being thrown back into the classroom and peer pressure and dealing with do we wear a mask? Do we not wear a mask? Do we get the hokey pokey? Do we not get the hokey pokey? You people know what I'm talking about, because you know YouTube will shut me down if I don't say it that way. Or, you know, and whatever your preference is, that's up to you. But it's the emotional part of getting back into society, with society being back open. And we've been stuck in our houses for 2 years. And I will say this too, child abuse, whether it be sexual or emotional, whatever, that is on the rise. The domestic violence is on the rise against women, and you know, men can be domestic violence sufferers as well. So, you know, you're dealing with all that, then all of a sudden the doors are open and you're just like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know, and you're
Absolutely.
having to deal with all that,
Sure.
plus deal with people that is now like you, that's going back in offices, you know, stores are back open, you know, and you're having to relearn how to communicate with your fellow
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely. I just had somebody say to me the other day, people are just angry. Like it's like everybody kind of held things at bay for the last, and now it's just like, woo, you know, whether my husband is, he's actually a general manager of Chick-fil-A, and and then I was talking with somebody, I mean, restaurant, it's just crazy, and people are angry. And so again, I think we all need to take that moment and kind of look inward and go, okay, how am I doing? Like,
Right,
how am I feeling? What am I,
right,
and then finding some help, find someone to talk to,
right,
journal. I know for me, brain dumping, just writing things down sometimes helps immensely to just get it out. Again, it's getting it out of all in here, where it just kind of ping pongs around and,
right,
ricochets around in there. So, and I think the thing that I love more than anything about our oils and utilizing that is the fact that there's hope, and I think that just having hope
right,
helps immensely, right?
right,
Just knowing, okay, and again, utilizing things and going, okay, this might not be the key to everything, but it makes me feel a little bit better.
right,
It raises my mood a little bit, so I love it. I
right.
love that.
Well, our time unfortunately is up. And I've so enjoyed this. But let people know how that they can get in contact with you if they want to get more information about oils, or if they want to just talk to you more
Sure,
about the emotions in oils. How can they
sure.
contact you?
Absolutely. We have a public Facebook. If you're on social media on Facebook, we have a public um, group that you are more than welcome to be a part of, and it is called Essential Education for Life group there on Facebook. And again, you can request to be added. We ask a couple questions, you answer those, and then we approve that. If you want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you. My email is Amy_Holtz, HOLTZ, at iCloud.com. That would be the easiest way for you to get hold of me. You can find me on Facebook. But again, I love, for me, emotions and the body, emotions and oil is just a great love of mine, because I myself am emotional. We all have emotions, and anything I can do to help somebody navigate that, I love to do that.
Absolutely. And that's one of my passions too, is emotions, obviously, because, with addiction and trauma and that sort of thing. And so the more I can learn about emotions and oils, the better, because I am all
Absolutely.
about that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for coming
Thank
on. I
you.
have enjoyed this. Y'all go to the page, which I'm there as well. But go to the page, email her if you have any questions, or reach out to me, and we'll certainly give you some help to navigate these difficult emotions that we're all going through. This is not just a
Absolutely.
one person thing. This is not just for addiction. Everybody's got emotions and everybody's having to deal. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much, Amy. Good
Thank
to
you.
talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
We will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great day.